Mm-hmm. And I just want to first say, it's like, it sucks that certain family members are shitty. Mm-hmm. Point blank period. It sucks. It's like, you're born into these families and then you're like, from the quantum, yes, you chose it. But like from the human, it's like, I didn't choose this shit. I didn't choose these people. Welcome to Honest Feedback, the podcast where deep truth meets bold transformation. We've created this podcast for spirit-led individuals just like you.
Seekers of truth, personal growth, and meaningful connection. Whether you're navigating life's big questions, craving more joy and fulfillment, or simply looking for honest, relatable conversations, you're in the right place.
Through personal stories, actionable advice, and transformative insights, our ultimate goal is to empower you to create a life that's overflowing with pleasure, purpose, and authenticity.
We know you're capable of incredible things, so let's make it happen together. Welcome back to Honest Feedback, and I know I'm a little tender right now. Really?
Can we say it?
Yeah, let's say it.
Okay.
It is our final episode of Honest Feedback podcast in this iteration. As it is, we made a promise to ourselves.
Yes.
5 years ago when we started this podcast, we're like, all right, most podcasts don't make it past the third episode. Mm-hmm. So we committed to 5 years.
Yes.
And guess what?
It's 5 years, y'all. 5 years.
5 seasons. Yeah. And we are moving. We're moving on in our lives. Lots of big moves happening. And with said big moves, a dial needed to get turned down. And for now, that is Honest Feedback Podcast.
Yeah, we're going to share a bit more about like what's happening in our lives. We're going to answer some questions. We did some polling and we got some things to talk about. We got some hot takes. Yeah. So don't worry. This whole episode is not like a boo. We got information for you and all the things for you. And I felt like this is a beautiful moment to like teach. Babe, will you talk about the law of amama?
Sure.
And what we've been learning? Okay.
Yeah. The law of amama is one of the Hawaiian assumptions, and it is that there's a law of sacrifice, that something needs to be sacrificed in order to receive. A way I like to say it is like the law of exchange. You have to give something in order to take something back. And it has been something that we've been really facing recently. It's just like, who are we becoming and what is the cost of that? And like what needs to perhaps be sacrificed in order to bring our focus to something? So, for you, listener, the question becomes, to become who you want to be, what do you have to give up in your current reality? Yeah.
It hits me so deeply because so many of us, self included, when people are like, you have to make a sacrifice, you're like, sacrifice? Oh. No, I don't want to sacrifice anything. I just want it all. Mm-hmm. And there is an exchange that has to happen. Mm-hmm. I no longer drink. And so it was just like, there were other things that I wanted in my life and I needed to sacrifice drinking in order to have those things, you know? And for me, I think of it as like, what are the things that I like and what are the things that I love? And it was like, I liked drinking, but I love the way I feel in my body not drinking.
Yes.
Love the way I feel in my body not drinking. Like my skin is better, my sleep is better, my health is better. I'm a clearer thinker. Like I just love the way I function without that substance. And it's not like a good, bad, right, or wrong. So for us, when we were really sitting with this, and for those of you who've joined us for the Becoming Workshop, like we were setting out huge intentions for who we're becoming and what we wanted to create in our life. And we were like, okay, there's so many, what a great problem. There's so many great things that I like doing. Yeah. What are the things that I really love about who I'm becoming? Yeah. And really focusing my energy on those things. And so that means turning down and sacrificing what are the things that I like. And as much as I love and like this podcast, I was like, there are things that are calling me in a bigger and stronger way for who I'm supposed to be and how I'm supposed to serve and at the level I'm supposed to serve. And so I was just like, okay, looking at, there's only so many hours, the only limited resource is time. Yeah. The only limited resource is time.
If you believe it's linear, yes.
Yeah. That's true. We are not.
That's
in
a conversation for another time.
Metaverse. Yeah. But as the person who edits this podcast and we're doing a lot. Like you've been growing so much. Like how has it felt for you with this amama and saying goodbye to this podcast, this iteration?
I feel sadness, absolutely. And what I know to be true is I got to show up for these 2 hours a week, but it was Brittany for 2 days pouring into the podcast after. And for me, it was like I could tell that you were feeling burnt out, and that's not the where she shines, the editing. We got to admit that we know that the quality and the production could have been, 3 camera system and all those things. And we ran this operation all by ourselves, and it's been an awesome podcast. I really want to thank the diehard fans, right?
Yes.
our 200 plus subscribers on YouTube. You were real ones. You showed up. You listened. You were diligent, and we love you. You responded, and we love you. Love you. Love you. We're so grateful for you. The podcast will live on in the podcast sphere of influence. I think we were in like the top 10 worldwide.
Yeah, we were in the top 10 worldwide, which is fucking incredible.
It is. Yeah. It is. It's incredible. And, we love our fans deeply. And I'm doing grad school.
She's getting her doctorate, not just doing grad school, getting a doctorate.
I am getting a doctorate.
Right.
I'm getting a doctorate.
Whole different level of grad school.
Absolutely. Maybe the next podcast is with Dr. King.
Yeah.
And I've got Mastery Mornings, my community, Brittany's building something. So we have places.
I have a community turned on membership.
The turned on membership where Brittany's literally putting out 3 podcasts a week, know? So we are serving and creating things where people can interface with us, and we'll definitely share more of where you can follow us after this. And the podcast was a heavy lift for what it was returning. So it is the amama for the next iteration, the unfoldment of what the Kings are. We do retreats. We're starting a family. And all those things are going to take time and resources. And so you will hear from us again. We're constantly on other people's podcasts and things of that nature. And honest feedback though, it's time to close that chapter.
But not before we answer some last questions. Do you guys want to hear some questions? Yes. All right, we got a juicy one.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Okay, so how do I love my bigot father who is so attached to his self-image of being a good guy that he can't see his assholery? That's a technical term.
Yes, it is.
After lies, denials, and gaslighting, my sister and I have cut him out, but that doesn't really feel good either. What do you do with shitty family? Is saying, bye, bitch, good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do with shitty family?
Yeah. I mean, long answer short, yeah, bye bitch works. That's a complete sentence. No, what are your thoughts on this? I know you've got experience.
Yeah, I have complex family dynamics, and for me, it really comes back to you have to put your oxygen mask on first. So you have to do what feels best for you in terms of literally physical, emotional, and mental safety. And sometimes that does require a boundary where you're like, I can no longer engage with this person. Sometimes that's like, hey, we can only talk about the weather. And that's our whole conversation, or the nieces and nephews from an abstract place. You have to find what actually feels good for you. And I just want to first say, it's it sucks that certain family members are shitty. Point blank period. It sucks. It's you're born into these families, and then you're from the quantum, yes, you chose it. But from the human, it's I didn't choose this shit. I didn't choose these people.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to be in close contact with someone who shows up in ways that literally just physically hurt you and harm you. Yeah. So my first thing is one, you have to do what's best for you as far as safety wise. And then 2, once you get that figured out, and the safety wise, it might be literally no contact, limited contact, or it doesn't sound like you said you and your sister cut this person out, so cut your dad out. So sounds like those are the options. From that place, it's getting okay with your decision. So it sounds like you're this doesn't feel good. And I hear you. it doesn't feel good, but does it feel better than being in the presence of that assholery? Does it feel better than like my father was extremely, God, there were so many things. There's so many names to call, but the behavior was unacceptable. And how I felt around him was treated poorly, berated, antagonized, chastised, could never do anything right. And it was just like, those ways of feeling felt awful.
Yeah.
So like, does it suck that like on Father's Day, people get to talk about their great dads and all the things like that? And I'm like, oh, I wish I had them. And I'm like, yeah, that's sad, but not as sad as how I felt after a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Not as sad as I felt when he pushed my sister out of a car. Not as sad, like, you know, like it's just, so they're not equal.
Yeah. I think, and if I recall correctly, your dad was diagnosed with assholery, right?
He was absolutely diagnosed. I had a therapist, and it was like one of those, like a junior therapist, like someone who's getting hours. It was like a sliding scale therapy, and it was great. It was all I could afford at the time. But I remember telling her, I was like, hey, I think my dad's a narcissist. And she was like, honey, we're not going to armchair diagnose people and like, don't just throw out words and da-da-da. And I invited him in for a session. And he said things. Yeah. And after, like, you know when you're just like, I don't think that's the face the therapist should have. Jaw open, like this. And then after that he left, she goes, yeah, okay, so I think he meets the DSM-5 definition. And so I would advise, you know, blah, 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 blah. But yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think the boundary is in itself what communicates that you're not standing for this. Yeah. Right? You could say bye, bitch. You could say all the things, but you not being in someone's life, we hope that they receive the information, the wisdom, the repercussions of it. And, you know, and I'm sure there's just a bunch of boomer parents like, I don't know why my kids don't talk to me. You know,
I gave them everything.
I gave them everything.
And water.
I just voted against all their rights.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I'm sure that's happening. And are they going to get it? I don't know. It's not that you may not be the person who teaches it to them, but you don't have to put yourself in a place of suffering anymore. And I'm a firm believer in protecting your own energy and protecting your peace and being in. We can acknowledge that someone did the best they could with the resources they had while also removing ourselves from interacting with that behavior.
Absolutely.
So, I encourage you to do what's best. It sounds like you already did what's best, and work on, you know, what you could do is do your own work and forgiveness work. You know, forgiveness is not something we do for them. It's something we do for ourselves. Like, I forgive my father for being a bigot. I forgive my father for what he did and what he was, and putting up a boundary with love that I'm not letting you into my field.
Yeah. Something that someone shared with me after or nearish around the time when my mom was dying was they were like, hey, so energy is never lost. It replaces itself. And my mom had passed a few days before my birthday, and Lisette's mom has been diagnosed with dementia, right? And so half the time she did not remember that I was there, but my mom died. And on my birthday, Lisette's mom called me to wish me happy birthday. No one reminded her. Yeah. And everyone was like, I thought she had dementia. She didn't even know who you were. Yeah. And she remembered. It's like the energy replaces itself. And I have found an incredible supportive field of moms and mom energy in my life because I was open to it. There's a girl on Instagram who literally did a post talking about, I have a bad relationship with my mom and I'm looking for new mom energy. And so she adopted 5 different moms to like support her in her life. So like if you're missing the dad energy, let's get clear on what kind of dad energy would feel best for you. And you can do a call, you can do a spell, you can do an Instagram live of like, I'm looking for some daddies. No, okay. That's a different daddy.
I'm looking for someone to pay my bills.
That's a different daddy. But, you know, I'm looking for some father energy, and this is specifically what I want it to look and feel like. Yes. And I'm calling in that kind of masculine energy into my life because the energy is not lost. It can replace itself, and you actually have to be open to it being replaced. So,
Yeah. Well, we're sending you so much love. We obviously understand what you're experiencing and what you're going through, and we're big supporters of boundaries.
Big supporters of boundaries.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing some next ones. Okay.
Rapid fire.
Ooh, someone said, can you have tips for couples creating and building together? Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I would say first things first is like, you have to separate your relationship from the business. Mm-hmm. Like being a good business partner is not the same thing as being a good relationship partner, yet a lot of the skills cross pollinate, right? You have to have good communication skills. You have to have good boundaries. You have to be able to ask for what you need. And for me and Brittany having the podcast, we had podcast meetings that were very much the podcast and what we're creating, what we want to do. And, the ending of this really came from one of those meetings of, I don't think I can do this anymore. And as much as I would love to do this podcast forever, she's my partner, And so the podcast in and of itself is coming to an ending because we were able to have that communication. Now, does it end our relationship and all the other things? No, absolutely not. We'll talk about that later. So there's something to be said about having designated meetings where you put on different hats, like the business partner hat. What would you say?
Okay, so walk with me, guys. Back in the day, the original Dexter, and the original Dexter,
the show,
the show,
the guy who
with
killed...
Michael C. Hall.
Yeah, okay,
yes,
great,
okay.
Great. Uh-huh.
So there was this episode, it's a really old show, so there will be some spoilers. He's a serial killer, and he and his girlfriend are having issues, and he's like not understanding like what the issue is. And so two of the people he's hunting, because he's a serial killer who kills other killers. Okay,
great show.
They're a couple, and so he has them like on his tables, right? And he always like basically has these deep chats with people right before, he kicks them. And he goes, hey, you guys, like, how does your relationship work? How does your relationship work? And he was like, you guys work together, you kill together, you do all these things, like, how does it work? And they both go, we have the same vision. We have the same goal of what we want. And it stuck with me because I felt the resonance of truth. You can find truth anywhere, by the way. Yeah. You can feel it by the way it feels.
That's a bar.
It is a bar. It was like, so we have the same vision and we have the same goal and we're both moving towards it. And so it fixed his relationship with his girlfriend. And I feel that very deeply in us. And like part of our meetings is why we have Radar is like, we really are getting clear on our vision and our goal and where we're going.
Yeah.
And we share it and we hold it together. So if you want to build something with someone, as you have a relationship, you have a business partnership, it's like, do we both have the same vision for where we want to end up? Yeah. And are we committed to building that together? And so we have a vision for what we want our lives to look like. Yeah. And it overlaps in love, it overlaps in business. And so we're able to wear these different hats with each other because it's all leading to the same shared vision.
Yes. And, that kind of comes back to the podcast coming to an end is we both have a really high value on impact. I think it's like your top
My
value.
top value.
Yeah. And impact and influence. And for one of the podcast in and of itself wasn't influencing at the level at which we want to influence. And the in-depth, we like to get in there, personal, know all the details of everything that's going on. At least I do.
This is why we do retreats. This is why we do breakthroughs. We're like, you tell us everything.
You sit down, you tell me, show me on this doll where it hurts.
Yeah.
Like I love that level of interaction. And the podcast wasn't fully allowing us to do that.
Yeah.
And so truly we have had the same vision. And because the highest vision, the highest goal is still the same, we were able to go, this is not meeting that value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Share. It's amazing what can happen when you guys are both on the same page and on the same team and running the same race. I was listening to a podcast of someone who I used to work with, and they were talking about their marriage. They were dated this person for a long time, but their marriage only lasted like 6 months. And someone was like, well, what was the thing? And they were like, it was something I thought could be fixed by marriage, but essentially we weren't on the same team. And I didn't realize that this person was always kind of competing with me.
Ooh.
And they were like, I thought marriage would fix that because then by law we're on the same team. And it didn't. No. And it really struck me like, the value of who you pick as a partner, y'all, we have said it so many times, and like
we will die on this hill.
Die on this hill. I will murder for this hill. But we truly are partners, and we treat each other as teammates of like, we're on the same team and we're going for this thing together. And so like what she said, she was like, oh, Brittany felt like burnt out about it. And it was like, she's my teammate. Like, I'm not gonna let my teammate suffer. Like, we're gonna figure out a way through, knowing like this is the end all vision. And like for me, my top career value is impact, and I have been investing in ways that I can have a more powerful and more potent impact, and that is the thing that is lighting me up the most. So it's like, it's not about time, it's not about the editing, it's not about those kinds of things. Like, yes, those things put a factor, but what it really is about is like, I want to have this kind of impact, and my partner supports me because we both know the vision of where we're going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda's being cute.
Oh,
getting slightly.
Little doggies. They might make an appearance. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay. Are you ready to like switch the gears? We got some questions coming in on IG, kind of about us.
Yeah.
So, what's the one belief that transformed your life the most?
So I think the belief that has impacted me the most, or that I adopted, I choose to believe it, I put it in the place where the sun's going to shine tomorrow, is I always upgrade.
Yeah.
And that one has been deeply profound. We've adopted it for the Kings as well.
Yeah, we have.
And it has helped me in great times when things are going good. I get better. I did poorly on a midterm the other day, and I was like, well, fuck that. And I chose to get completely better. And I was in a really bad breakup, and I remember sobbing, going, I always upgrade. And I did. I upgraded to the best. Yeah, and, whenever life, is jazz, because it be like that sometimes, that belief has always supported me. How about you?
It can be easy. It can be easy. I don't know when that came in or when I decided that. I feel like it was somewhere in the spiritual awakening time, but I was just like, oh, it can be easy. It can be easier. And like, as someone who has felt like they were constantly on the struggle bus and life was so fucking hard, boo hoo hoo, boo hoo hoo.
Wow.
That, because I'm going to call the wham.
No kidding.
I do want a real life experience to say that to someone. It hasn't come yet, but it's coming. It'll fun. But deciding that it can be easy, I'm like, cool. Like, I'm not saying hard things won't happen. I'm just saying I can handle it in an easy way. And so many people like, it's like, let's do the hardest way. Let's American Gladiator it. Let's forge it in the steel and the fire. And I'm like, there's just easier ways. There's easier ways, and I'm here for easy. I'm here for the ease. I feel like it's why I run my retreats the way I do. You don't have to sleep on the dirt in order to get a spiritual lesson. Like, it can be easier. You can sleep in a bed. You can sleep in a bed.
You can sleep in a comfortable bed.
You can sleep in a comfortable bed. Like, I'm just like, I'm here for ease. So like, it can be easy has changed my life. It has changed how I show up in relationship. It has changed the kind of people I allow in my field.
Yes.
It has changed what I thought about business, because I was just like, oh, everybody's saying it's so hard. I'm like, but what if it could be easy? And I have found people who go, I have easy. I like ease.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
It can be easy.
Yes.
Definitely.
Who's that guy who's like, you have to post 5,000 times a day?
I don't know, but I don't like him.
Or you're just like, and people are like, everybody says he doesn't. He's successful. I'm like, I'm sure he is. That doesn't sound easy.
That's not sexy.
That's not easy to me. There's other ways.
Yeah.
There's other ways. Yeah.
Totally. What else you got?
Okay.
What other questions?
We got some good ones. How do you know when it's time to let something go? Y'all came through.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, I start.
Go ahead.
You know it because you don't want to do it. And so it's like, how do you know when it's time? It's like, there's a knowing inside, and then you start going, don't look at that. Let me avoid that. Let me not. And sometimes it's like, it's a relationship. It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's something, and you go, like, even just the thought of it goes inside, and you go, it's time. And so sometimes that can start like a whisper and then it gets louder and then you're like, fuck, I have to let this go. I have found this to be the most challenging around people.
Yes. Yes.
This has found the most challenging. Yeah.
A good question I give myself is like, if nothing changed, would I be okay with this in 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, and if the answer is no, then it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
The behavior, the act, the person. And yeah, I have felt it the hardest around people. Like you might be around someone and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what it is. It's not like they're a bad person, but I'm just like, my energy's drained.
Yep.
Yep. I just feel like I did a lot of output and a lot of emotional labor during that moment in time, or, and this is not to say, because there's a caveat to this. Sometimes people go through hard times.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
And Brittany's gone through hard times. I go through hard times. Like, and there's something to be said of like, I know she's going to get on the other side of this. And I know we're going like, there are more good times than bad, but like, just take a ratio, if it's more bad times than good.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for a while.
Yeah.
It's time.
You might even start to notice like subconscious behaviors. You're like, oh, I never seem to reach out to that person anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, because I need to let them go. I feel like it's not people are like, growing is lonely. And it's like, it doesn't have to be. And what can happen is you have a profound change, and that change is in who your beingness or your identity. And so then when you interact with someone, they could be your best friend, it could be your mom, it could be something like that. There's something that's changed within you that is no longer resonating with where it is that you two used to resonate. I had this with a friend where it's like we used to talk about other people and really beat up on ourselves. And when I could no longer do that, like it was really hard to be around her, and I had to ask for a change, and then I had to let that friendship go because that person was unwilling to make that change. And so it's this both and. I love your question of if nothing was to change, do I still want to be this person's life? Sometimes you need to ask that person. Like there's some things where you're just like, it doesn't feel like they're going to change. And you've had this situation. You were about to, be like, I'm done with this friendship. And that friend called you and like, let's get on the phone. Let's talk it out. Like, let me know how I can be better.
I had sent like a breakup text with a friend, and she called me up and she goes, oh no, we're not. Like we are getting on the phone. And honestly, it was my unwillingness to say the thing. Like I was like, it's better to end this than, and it was like, how can I be better? I was like, okay, these are the ways I need you to show up. I need you to care. I need you to reach out. Like I can't be the only one who's reaching out, all these things. And when I did that, it did repair the friendship. And so like sometimes you have to let something go so that it can transform and change form.
Yep.
And so like letting something go is not forever. We landed on that about this podcast is like we're letting it go in its form. In its form. Honestly, 5 more years of this the way it is, we can't do it.
We can't do it.
It's unsustainable. One more year of this is unsustainable. So 100%. So we realized that we had to let it go. If you're listening to this and you own a podcast like a production company and you're like, oh my God, these women are freaking incredible and I want to do all the legwork, they just have to show up. We will be talent.
Call us
all day long.
That is something I can do.
We're great at being talent. The other stuff was really, it was taking a toll. And so it's time to let things go when it's just like,
it's time. Somewhere in your heart, and it's the thing that maybe you've been unwilling to look at. Like I think I told you guys, I quit watching TV for this year. Boy, did I not want to let that go. I love TV. I love my stories. Yes. Now I just tell Lisette about old episodes of Grey's Anatomy.
That is fun.
I'm like, I'm like, this is what happened. This is the storyline. But I love TV. But I knew it needed to go, and because it was hard, it felt squiggly, and I knew like who I'm becoming and where I needed my energy and focus. That wasn't supporting me and going where I wanted to go. So It was time and I did it. And sometimes, like the internet says, say the thing. Sometimes you have to say the thing out loud. Whoa, this thing isn't serving me. I have to let it go. TV's not serving me. I have to let it go.
Yeah.
Eating chips at midnight's not serving me. Gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Hanging out with that person where we just beat up on ourselves isn't serving me. I have to let it go. And sometimes you have to say the thing. And sometimes it's to the person and sometimes to yourself.
Yeah.
But try saying it to yourself first. Let it go.
This is coming through, so
Cool.
I feel like I have to say it. Something came across my desk the other day. I saw it on TikTok, and it said this generation, because we didn't used to be able to consume this much television, scrolling, all the things, but like the people now will have more memories of other people living their life than their own.
Oh my God.
If that's not a reason to stop scrolling and fucking just consuming movies and television. Well, I love my movies, but like, just consuming television nonstop. Like you could tell me all these stories. They were so drastic and dramatic of other people. Like, I like having my own stories.
100%.
I like that I've jumped out of an airplane. I've had sacred ceremony inside of a pyramid of Giza. Like, I like living my own life. And when you let go of TV, I let go of TV because, it's like, if we're not going to that bar anymore, I'm not going to that bar anymore.
It's easier when you have a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so when she gave up TV and I gave up TV, we've been picking up different, hobbies. Like
we picked up chess, y'all.
We picked up chess. Yeah. That's been so fun.
So fun. Lisette taught me how to play on our last Just Cause trip. And we have been it's so fun. It's our nightly activity now. Or sometimes a whole Saturday. We're playing chess.
And we're using our brains in a way that's, I don't know.
It feels good.
It feels good. It's cross-pollinating other parts of our lives. But I just don't want to be someone who watched someone else's life more than living my own.
That's a bar. Write that down.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one question everyone should ask themselves daily?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
okay.
You taught me this.
Yeah.
But it's part of the creation story is who am I and who am I
becoming?
Who am I becoming?
Mm-hmm.
If you can ask yourself that, I think every day, who am I and who am I becoming? I feel like I ask myself, who am I becoming the most in the work that we do of breakthroughs and it's a lot of visioning and I am committed to who I'm becoming and I'm who am I becoming? And how do I be that person today?
Yeah.
That's what I ask myself.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think a good one, it's a great question. I'm going to implement this is how good can it get?
Love that question.
How good can it get? How great can today be?
Yeah.
And if you're asking yourself how great today can be and you're doing really lame stuff, you'll fucking put down the lame stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're I want to do something great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. So good.
Okay. What's one moment in your relationship that truly changed how you see each other?
Oh, okay. I will share. Can I share vulnerably?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have been talking about expanding our family and we are so grateful to be on this journey. And we conceived and we had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And it was during when Lisette was teaching one of her Intro to Huna classes. So it's a Saturday, Sunday. And Saturday she taught, and that evening we were in the ER and I was having a miscarriage. And we were there till 3 a.m. And then the next day she taught. She got up to teach Huna and I sat in class because I was I don't want to just sit in a room looking out the window by myself.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like what I want. And so I sat in class and I watched her teach, and we teach about aloha and it's an acronym and what it means. And I saw her living aloha in real time and it changed the way I saw her. And I saw her depth of her love for us and our family and what we're creating. And yeah, it just changed how I saw you as a partner and how I saw you as a mother. And
yeah,
I felt even deeper in love with you.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I know we didn't bring tissues to this side of the room. They're on the other side of the room. It's funny. The moment when we read that, I thought of the same moment. I thought of the same thing. But for me, it was, I saw us go through the depth of sorrow because we were so excited. Like there's something about getting pregnant where you're just so like, you're in this child's future and you can see everything, and it's just like to lose the baby and to not lose faith and to not lose love or hope, and like our love for each other just got so much deeper. Like I didn't know we've had hard times, we've had scary times, we've had big transitions in our lives, but to go through that grief, like the grief of the joy of that creation energy, and then the devastation of the finality of it all. And it only took us about a week or two to bounce back and to be like, no, we're doing this again. Like we know there's a soul coming through, and we know we're the parents, and however it needs to happen, it's going to happen. And I just felt so much love for you and the miracle that is your body and what it can do and how it can create and how it can release when something's not right. Like
she knows what to do.
She knows exactly what to do. So I was just like, just deeply in love with the miracle that is you, and so excited to be a mom with you.
Same, baby.
Yeah.
Same. Well, I think that pulls us into our final question someone asked. What's next?
What's next? Okay.
Well, we mentioned.
We have a child on the horizon.
So that's something.
That
was big.
Still not fully inseminated, but just you heard it here first, folks. There is a baby somewhere on the way in the next ether. So, growing our family. First and foremost, we are each creating things. We're both in deep creations on our own. So for me, a place you can find me is Mastery Mornings with Kyle and Chloe. We host a community every Tuesday morning from 8 a.m. to 9. It's a tight hour of a deep lesson, coaching, and action. And that community is growing. And it's really
so great.
It's so great. We host a book club. We have Action Lab, which is something where we work together. We're hosting retreats. So I'm in deep creation with Kyle and Chloe, and bless them, they hold so much. They are such producers. Like they have their hands all up in it. So I'm lucky that I get to be the talent, because the tech stuff, you know me in tech. So blessings. That is one thing.
Who would you say Mastery Mornings is for? Who's that community for?
Oh, great. It is for entrepreneurs. It's for people who dream bigger and need a community to dream with. There's so many solopreneurs out there and people that are doing it on their own and think they have to hustle on their own. And once a week, every Tuesday, rain or shine, we're there. And we're helping our community grow and expand, and like helping people. We get to shine our light. And I'm still doing what I love there, coaching people, teaching lessons. And so that's beautiful. And of course, if you ever want to dive deep into a breakthrough, that is my business. You can always find me there. And I'm teaching Una. So those are it's a more continuation of what I'm doing. And I'll let you talk about what you're talking about, and then we'll talk about what we're doing.
Wow. What's next for Goddess Brittany? Like she said, I've been making weekly podcasts. I have. My number one value is impact, and I know that I'm here to help women. I know that I'm here to help you live your most juicy, beautiful, orgasmic, joy-filled, pussy-wet life. And I am so committed to that. And so I have started a membership called the Turn On Membership. And it is a community for women to come together. Again, like if you have felt like I have a dream that's bigger, I want to have more happiness. I want to have more joy. I want to have more peace. And I want to be more living in alignment with who the fuck I know I actually am. And I'm excited to wake up and be that person. Like, the Turned On membership is for you. So I'm doing the Turned On membership.
Yeah.
We are, of course, hosting retreats, and we have started offering King experiences, private retreats with us. I'm so excited. We have a client coming in next week. So if that is something that calls to you, if you're like, I want both of your medicine, King experiences is for a man or a woman, person who wants that deep medicine of transformation. Like, at the end of the day, like, this podcast came out of our love of, like, we are a stand for you and your greatness. We are here to love you, and so hard that you remember who the fuck you are and how great you are and what kind of great life you want to have. And we're like, yes, and you can have it and you can get it. And like, yeah.
So we are still creating together big time, and you can find us on the interwebs. You can find us at Lisette King Official,
at Goddess Brittany King, and those are our websites. Lisette King.
Yep.
Goddess Brittany King. Find us, reach out, and if this podcast has touched you, like, we really love reading the love notes and things like that. Feel free to put a comment on the YouTube or on our Instagram, or write us a DM. We have been blown away with people who have either asked a question and shared with us how massive it was and how supportive it was in their life. Yeah. Also, for people who are like, this was the episode I needed to hear today. So we would love to know how this podcast has touched you. It's going to live on where podcasts can be found for the next foreseeable future, and it will be on YouTube. We're not taking it down off YouTube, so it'll be on YouTube forever. So, like, continue to share episodes. Like, if you have something, like, share it with a friend. There's so many great resources and so many incredible guests that we got to have on the show. So continue to listen, continue to share, and as always, be honest.
Yeah. Oh, it's tender.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the advice that we can always give till the end of time when you're lost.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself and be honest with each other.
We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.